What's up YouTube, it's your boy Andre Zeus, and today we coming back with another banger, man. But anyways, y'all, we basically finna be reacting to Officer Caught in Real Life horror movie. So with that being said, let's get straight into it.
This officer was by himself on a routine welfare check. What he didn't know is that he might be talking to a killer. Just past midnight on November 14th, 2022, a Milwaukee police officer responded to a welfare check in a residential neighborhood. The caller was concerned for their 75-year-old neighbor, who lived with 31-year-old Israel Webb II, a man who shared no familial ties. Officers were likely unaware of Israel's criminal history, which included armed robbery, carrying a concealed weapon, theft, and multiple disorderly conduct charges. According to a community briefing, upon arrival, Israel spoke through a window and agreed to let an officer inside.
Okay, let's see what they got going on.
Here, Israel picks up a steel brake rotor on his way into the residence.
What, this one? Yeah. What's up,
According to the community briefing, this is the only entrance and exit in the home. The rotor likely weighs around 20 pounds, more than enough to prevent anybody from quickly leaving or entering the room.
Okay.
Dorothy! Here's your bandit. You got any lights here?
Yeah.
Here's the lights on. Wait, there's your door phone? What in there?
Right here.
Oh! Jesus Christ, huh? Burger?
This nigga drunk or something? Oh, Dorothy is right there.
Sleeping? How long she been sleeping for?
Since 6.
What's the bag for? What's the bag? He got a cover.
Because he ran in with alcohol and stuff.
You put a cover back for me?
Dorothy?
I'm gonna put her cover and save Dorothy.
Alright, just let that go.
And then he looking scared like he did something.
Miss Dorothy?
She is awfully sleeping with a lot of noise. Oh yeah. Nigga she got flowers on her?
Okay, step back.
Bro, what? He just whispers she.
Okay, step back. Step back. Let me make sure.
She's dead. I was gonna call her relatives in here. The phone line.
Put your hands up. Turn around. Put your hands on your back. 5446. Y'all need another squad to my location as a supervisor. Put your hands on your back.
Why are you doing it so stupidly, bro? You're going to jail.
Sir,
Pack your shit, bro. Pack your shit.
you're looking at me.
You knew she was dead and you sitting there acting like she's not dead. Talking about shit. I don't want to
get shot, but you looking at me like that is kind of making me nervous. Stop looking at me. Don't do that.
He talking about I apologize. Your dumb ass.
You're gonna get text.
Why would you just put your arm away and say
Don't do that.
I apologize?
Alright. I gotta tell you right now. What's going on? Alright?
Just shoot me in the face? What is this nigga talking about?
Make that other squad 1017, please.
He keeps talking about shooting us, but like, what are you talking about, bro?
Just don't move. Put your hand up. You're just doing too much moving when you're making me nervous. Just don't move.
Nigga got a taser. I mean, the nigga got the beam on his ass.
On your stomach? No, on your stomach. Sir, on your stomach. Okay.
Like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about?
No, you're gonna get to it.
Alright, what do you want to get shot over tase? What the fuck is you talking about?
Behind your back.
What is wrong with this nigga?
Behind your back.
Like, where this nigga finna piss me off, bro?
Put your other hand behind your back. Your other hand behind your back. Stop resisting. Put your hand behind your back. Your other hand. Yep, put it behind your back. Don't move.
Wow. Wow.
Stop resisting. Stop. 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 Stop.
Bro, shoot that nigga in his face, bro.
The officer attempted to handcuff Israel but secured only one wrist before a struggle began. At this time, the officer pressed the emergency button on his radio, signaling for immediate backup. During the altercation, Israel allegedly used this 2.5-foot metal pole and attempted to grab the officer's firearm.
Don't make me kill you.
Give me another squad here now! Sir!
Right in the face.
Stop!
Right in the face.
You will be shot! Stop!
Right in the face. Please, right.
He's asking for you to shoot him like his nigga is like blowing me right now. What is he talking about?
Drop the pole!
In the face. Come on. Right in the face.
Drop the pole!
Like, do y'all hear this nigga right now? I know y'all hearing the same shit I'm hearing.
Right in the face. Right in the face.
I would have to shoot
Right in the face. Come on.
Right in the face is so crazy to me.
You know what I see? Do it! Sir, do it! Drop the pole! You know what I see? Do it! Sir, right in the face! Right in the face! Come on! Come on! Drop the pole! Come on! Right in the face there, please! Drop right in the face! On the ground now! On the ground! On the ground!
Okay.
Drop!
This nigga is trying to die.
Drop it!
He said he saw too much.
Drop it!
He had saw too much, y'all.
Drop the weight now! Drop the weight! Drop the weight! Drop the weight!
Responding officers attempted a rear entry to the building, but ultimately had to kick down the door to assist.
Subject is at door foot, and then like squat. Right, okay, come on. Don't take me, man. Don't take me, man.
He's talking about, don't let them take me. Hell no.
Get me! Get me! Get me! Give me your hand! Check that room. I got it. Someone get medical now. Call for medical.
According to a community briefing, despite being tased, Israel threw the brake rotor at the officer, prompting the officer to fire his handgun. This photo shows the damage caused by the rotor, which was allegedly just inches from hitting the officer. Israel allegedly continued to resist other officers, but was eventually taken into custody. Emergency medical services were immediately sent for Israel, and he survived the injuries. The 24-year-old officer was treated and released after minor injuries. The officer had 4 years of service at the time. A medical medical examiner was called to assess the 75-year-old woman who had no signs of trauma. It was later determined she died from lung cancer, though the exact time of death remains unclear. An investigation was opened to determine if the use of force was justified after the officer-involved shooting incident took place. During this investigation, the officer was placed on administrative leave. On December 5th, 2022, roughly 3 weeks after the shooting, the Milwaukee County District Attorney found the use of force was justified. The officer will face no charges regarding this incident. For this incident, Israel was charged with 1 count of battery of a law enforcement officer, 1 count of resisting an officer, and 2 counts of bail jumping, which was linked to a $2,500 signature bond for prior disorderly conduct charges, according to news sources. In February 2023, the court determined he was incompetent to make decisions related to his case and assist with his defense. However, the court deemed he was a likely candidate to regain competency in his case. He was forced to participate in 62 days of competency restoration treatment, credited as jail time if sentenced. In May 2023, he remained incompetent, leading to extended treatment. By late July 2023, the court declared him competent and set a $5,000 cash bond. In August 2023, he pled not guilty and posted the $5,000 cash bond in September after 10 months in custody. Though the case was prepared for trial, in February 2024, 15 months after the incident, the state dismissed all charges and refunded his bail. However, in March 2024, he was recharged for the same incident with 1 count of attempting to disarm a peace officer, 1 count of resisting or obstructing an officer, and 1 count of bail jumping. A $5,000 signature bond was set in April 2024, and in June, he pled not guilty once again.
Nigga, you're
At the
guilty.
time of posting this video, the case remains pending. Additionally, Israel
Dumbass.
faces separate, unrelated charges for stalking and violating a restraining order in relation to domestic abuse, along with felony bail jumping.
Now, when police receive calls for a check on the well-being, it's often a very delicate situation. And though we do use compassion, we also have to respond with caution, because as usual, police enter these situations knowing very little. And I've responded to many welfare check calls, and most times the person was either asleep or not home. But on that rare occasion, unfortunately, the end result wasn't always a happy ending. So today we're in Milwaukee and we have a concerned neighbor calling 911 so police can do a welfare check to check on a 75-year-old woman who lives with a 31-year-old man who isn't a family member. Now, this is an immediate cause for concern for me, because when you have a random person living with someone who isn't related to them, it could be just me, but this is extremely suspect because many people like to take advantage of the elderly. We do see it a lot. And then we learned that the male living with this woman has an extensive criminal history, which is never good. So my question is, how did this male even end up living here?
Facts.
The male actually opened the door for the officer and everything appeared okay for the moment until the male picked up the 20-pound brake rotor and then placed it in front of the door, blocking the exit of the apartment. And his explanation was because the door swings open. And just as a side note, in the academy, officers are usually trained to never allow your exit to be obstructed because you may have to make a quick exit. But at this point, as I'm watching this, the hairs on the back of my neck started to stand up because the male first states that Dorothy is on the bed. But once the light came on, the male states that Dorothy was right next to the officer.
Exactly.
But here's the thing.
Nigga was
Dorothy isn't
yelling
alive
in
anymore.
the fucking
The male
room.
barely knew that during this entire interaction because that's exactly what he whispered to this officer. Now, if you guys are paying attention, this guy gives away multiple signs that he wasn't going to go quiet. Now, the first one is he didn't turn all the way around when the officer gave him an order. And the second, he keeps watching the officer. And the last, he actually pulls away when the officer initially tries to cuff him. And these are all warning signs. And I cannot stress how dangerous this is because the officer is in this apartment with the door closed with a mentally unstable male. And that quick, as the officer tries to cuff him, the officer's in a fight because all we hear is the officer yelling to stop resisting because the body cam is falling off, and this interaction just got more disturbing as it progressed. Now, this officer had to yell to stop to this male over 11 times and drop the weight numerous times, and then still had to fire his weapon. But thankfully, this officer was not hurt, and his backup showed up right on time. However, this male is extremely dangerous, and although the deceased had no trauma, in my opinion, he should not have been living there. But lastly, this is just another example of how a simple check on a well-being call can turn into a fight for survival. But this officer did great, and he didn't receive any charges for his actions.
Man, good job,
Definitely
officer.
a win in my book. So all I have, guys, remember to be safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
You had to do what you had to do, man. You know what I'm saying? That was Officer walks into the real life horror film, you know what I'm saying? Or something like that. But hey, man, it was crazy. And, you know, hopefully nobody like you guys experienced anything like that. So, you know what I'm saying? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love y'all. I'm going to catch y'all next one. And we out. Peace.